23 new businesses since Jasper Main Street. $5 million in real estate sales. 109 jobs have been brought downtown.
Welcome in, Daily Mountain Eagle digital audience. This is James Phillips, publisher of the Eagle, and this is our weekly interview segment, DME Meets. Joining me today, I have Mike Putman, the executive director of Jasper Main Street.
And you have Tallulah.
And Tallulah. And what people don't know probably is that Tallulah is also a columnist for the Mountain Eagle.
Tallulah is a columnist. Her column comes out every 2 weeks in the business section. She travels to a local business, whether it's downtown or a partner we have on 78 or on I-22, any of our contributors. She goes to that business and she interviews them and she cranks out 500 words on that business.
And she keeps it right at 500 words, which I've been impressed with.
Well, she's pretty smart. And she likes to get her picture taken.
Right.
And I'm the photographer. She's the writer. Okay. So that's what we do.
Let's talk about Main Street. You guys got a lot going on downtown. So what's some of the projects that are happening right now?
Okay, the biggest thing we've got going on right now is our market analysis just closed. Our survey just closed 2 days ago. We get that information back next Wednesday with Downtown Pros. Talk to Jay, and he shows us what our market's going to bear, what the interests are. Then he's also gathered 20 prospects from that survey that says they would like to have a business downtown. So I have to contact them if the business fits our market. And that's the thing. You don't need to come to downtown and say, I'm going to open a business. You need to come to Jasper Main Street and say, I want to open a business. And I look at the market analysis, or I just talk to you and say, yeah, this will fly, this won't fly. So that's what we're into right now. Tallulah, the marathon, not the dog, not the brewery, goes up June 8th.
Right.
So we're preparing for that too. And then...
They're still taking runners for the marathon?
Yes.
Looking for volunteers to help out, that sort of thing?
Yes, TallulahHalf.com. You can sign up for the race. You can look at Jasper Main Street's Facebook page. You can volunteer there. Price increases on May 31st. And so you want to register before then.
Right.
And that brings in people, and it brings in local people, certainly, but it brings in people from all over the United States. It's really become a thing just for Jasper. And like I get the registrations every day. Day before yesterday, there was somebody from Washington State coming to run Tallulah.
Well, and I think that most of the time our local runners really volunteer more than run.
They do.
So we have over 200 runners each year that come downtown to run, and then they spend money in downtown Jasper.
That's right.
They spend money in other areas of Jasper, so it's definitely a positive thing for the city.
It is, and that's when the businesses can make money, the restaurants can make money. This year, the runners have a bib, of course, and they're timed. They hook timing to their shoes. It's a certified run. And this year they have a ticket on their bib for a free beer at Tallulah Brewery. Not Tallulah the dog, and not Tallulah
the run.
Right. Gets confusing.
Right. Well, and everyone should know that you're the person who brought Tallulah back and made it popular in Jasper, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know that I did it. It was just here, and I don't know. I've always liked Tallulah Bankhead. And so when we did have our first Tallulah tribute, we did bring people to town, like Little Ricardo from I Love Lucy, who worked with Tallulah. And we did all that, and then we incorporated the marathon. But Tallulah, the brewery, is named after, he nods at Tallulah Bankhead, but it's really named after Tallulah Hotel in Cordova.
Right.
We have 5 bike racks, and we have 10 bikes that are going to be installed in the next month or so. The bike racks were funded by the city. The bikes were funded by Jasper Main Street through the Community Foundation.
So the bike racks can be used by cyclists who are coming through town, and then the bikes are... Is this a rented bike or something like that?
Yeah. Like you rent it from wherever the bike rack is located. You go inside that business. Our second streetscape, phase 2, goes in the fall. That's been funded in part by Alabama Power and the Community Foundation with Jasper Main Street. The city will install them in kind. So it's a big partnership among the three of us.
Right.
Sound system goes in downtown, which will just give you streamed music 24/7 if you want it.
And what's the area?
It starts on the square, and you put your speakers 120 feet apart. So this is the starter set. This has 8 speakers, and so we'll go both ways, east and west.
Okay.
And then as it gets funded more, we'll get another set of speakers, and you zigzag them all the way down the street so that you have, kind of like stereo,
Right.
going in both directions of the street, and the avenues also. Then there were bikes, there were trees, there's a sound system. There's, I missed the bikes. The bikes are funded, bike racks are funded by the city. The bikes were funded by Market Area Community Foundation and Kevin Callahan, Honda of Jasper.
Okay.
I
And
left
then
him
you said
out.
the sound system was funded by
Scott Crump and
the
Walker Area Community Foundation.
Okay.
That's right. And then there's the bikes. There's a fourth project. What is it? There's a lot going on.
Is the electric car something that you guys are involved in too? The electric
Thank you.
hookup?
Thank you. Yes, the car charger station, which is it's behind that building called The Rock right now. It's on 19th and 5th, 19th and 5th Avenue, 19th Street and 5th Avenue. That is for, it's not activated yet. It is for, of course, hybrids. It's a dual charger, and it will have an app. There's an app for the charge point station that can show visitors where to go. And we're in the middle of, Missy Miles is going to do something back there with a mural that will have a downtown map, something so that visitors, when they're charging their cars, they can go by and eat and drink.
Yeah.
So yes, that is installed but not activated yet. Jasper Main Street did do that. And of course, Wade Park,
Right.
which is our East Gateway sign, funded by the Kiwanis Club and Jasper Main Street, and some very generous donors. We're going to have some murals, interchangeable murals on both sides, and then there's going to be a park to it.
Okay.
The citizens voted on that probably a year ago to which style park they wanted, and it's that kidney-shaped park. But Todd Thompson from Security Federal has been the driving force behind all of that.
Right.
And another project that we've funded is wayfinding.
Right.
So
you'll have new wayfinding signs coming up.
we have the East Gateway sign that says you're coming to Downtown Jasper. We have the West Gateway sign that just finished about a month ago on the back of Barbara Brown Meadows building that you come in through Posey's. That's done. And then the wayfinding kind of goes out and inside. It tells you how to get to parking. It tells you how to get to the city hall. It tells you how to get to the courthouse. It tells you how to get to retail, restaurant. It tells you how to get to the library. And there are 9 locations for wayfinding, some of which are outside of downtown to direct people into downtown.
Right.
And that was funded by the Bankhead Fund. That would be Emily Humphreys and Alec Grant. So we're excited about that. That has been done, and it's being built right now by Paul at Quality.
Okay. How about we talk about just a little bit of your history with Main Street for a second? So people who don't know, I mean, if they haven't picked up the paper in the last 5 years.
Now, who would that be? Everybody reads the Daily Mountain News.
I understand. But maybe they skipped that day of the hundreds that you've been in the paper. How did you get here to do Main Street?
Well, I taught high school theater for 26 years. In 2014, I retired after teaching and knew I would do something because I was just 49 years old.
Right.
Never thought it would be this, and didn't really even think it would be here, to tell you the truth. I was kind of, my contacts were really in Birmingham. But I'd been home for like 3 weeks maybe, just deciding what I was going to do after teaching. And Debbie Young Sanders calls me and says, would you like to help promote events in downtown Jasper? And I said, no. I said, that's no fun to me. And then she called me back maybe a couple of weeks later, and we started talking about downtown revitalization. And I said, oh, no, I can get behind that. Because I grew up in downtown Birmingham when it was beautiful. I saw the fall, and now it's becoming beautiful again.
Right.
Same thing is happening with downtown Jasper. I wasn't here when it was beautiful. I was only here when it wasn't so beautiful, but it's becoming beautiful again and even better in my mind because it's just more current now and more. People love to come to downtowns. That's just where you go for the heart of any city.
Right. Well, and you said you didn't want to do it to begin with because you didn't think it'd be a lot of fun. But just in getting to know you in the last few years, you have a lot of fun with improving downtown Jasper.
I do have a lot of fun, but she was just absolutely talking about events, and I was like, no, I've had 26 years of events.
Right.
Give me something else. And with Main Street, the philosophy is the 4-point approach with design, organization, promotion, and economic vitality. It's fun when a new business opens.
Right.
Because it means money, it means jobs, it means, people coming in.
Yeah.
So all of those things together are fun. One of those in a silo would not be fun for me, at least. But you're going to do a second career, you want to do something fun.
Right. Something you have a passion for.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And theater was fun. I just knew when it was time.
Right. How about when you took over as the Main Street director, do you know how many businesses were downtown at that time?
I just know 23 new businesses since Jasper Main Street.
Right.
$5 million in real estate sales. 109 jobs have been brought downtown. It's just been, it's one of those 4 points working together, but it's also this board of directors that's very progressive.
Right.
It's also the mayor and city council who are on board, but it's also these volunteers that nobody sees except me. Like the banners, I don't design those banners. I get the information. Holly Trawick at the College Foundation designs them. She's designed every banner that's ever hung in downtown Jasper.
Yeah.
I mean, since Jasper Main Street. So it's volunteers like that that nobody sees, but I couldn't run this program without.
Right. Well, and I'm still shocked that there are people who live in the area that don't frequent the restaurants downtown or hadn't realized everything that's going on down there. Because it's just a renaissance downtown at this point, and people are driving from Birmingham and North Jefferson County all over different areas to come downtown Jasper.
There are a lot of good things happening in downtown Jasper, and people just want to be a part of that.
Yeah. Well, Mike, is there anything else you can think of that we haven't talked about?
We've covered Tallulah. We've covered the projects. I think we're good, but when we get the market analysis out to the public, that's going to be a game changer.
Right.
Because it's going to say, this is what downtown can support, this is what downtown can't support, and then when we find out what downtown can support, that's when we go and actively recruit businesses for downtown Jasper.
Once you get this analysis and we release it to the public, I'm sure it'll be throughout the newspaper and all of our social media and that sort of stuff, people will be able to see, here's what Jasper needs. And it won't be, oh, I've got this idea that I want to open X shop.
Exactly.
Then they can come to you and you can say, well, I don't think we can handle X shop, but this is what we need in downtown Jasper.
Exactly. And I'll have the numbers that says this is not going to be supported.
Right.
But this idea would be supported.
Yeah.
And that's what we need. We don't need, we need dreamers, but we need dreamers with numbers and information.
Right, because you want the dreamers to be able to succeed.
I do. It doesn't help me or downtown Jasper for a business to come in and fail.
Right.
I'd rather have no business than a business to come in and fail.
Right, definitely.
So.
Well, Mike, thanks for joining us today. It's always good to have you come in and give us a little information about what's going on downtown. And everybody looks forward every week to reading Tallulah's musings about local businesses for sure.
Yeah. Yep, they do. And we have
Do we want to say behind the scenes that you actually wrote the first article and I read it and said it was boring?
Yes.
And so we decided to let Tallulah write from that point on?
So we decided to let Tallulah write. And when Tallulah wrote it, you gave it a thumbs up.
Right, I loved it at that point. Yeah, she's a much better writer than you are.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. As long as she lets me drive her around and photograph her, we're good.
Right. Well, thanks guys for tuning in again this week for DME Meets. For Mike Putman, my guest, this is James Phillips. And join us next week as we have another person from our community who comes in and tells us about some things that are going on. See you then.